The reason why I've decided to make this video is because a lot of people that I've come across, including within senior management, don't really or have not really grasped the concept of what a Ponzi scheme is and how it could be disguised into various investment vehicles. I just wanted to make this quick video on what a Ponzi scheme is, how it works, and what's currently being used as a Ponzi scheme. Imagine a Ponzi scheme, and I won't insult your intelligence by explaining how Ponzi schemes started. I'll just go into it. Okay, so imagine a Mr. Ponzi, and funny enough, Charles Ponzi was the actual person who Ponzi schemes were named after. Anyway, he sets up a company called Ponzi Funds, and he states to people in his golf club that he is a very successful hedge fund manager and doubles his investments, his clients' investments for them. He then shows an official looking document, and sure enough, not long after, an associate from the golf club invests his money from the Cayman Islands to Mr. Ponzi's fund. He invests, say 10,000. Underneath, you'll notice I've got perceived value, actual value, and factual investments as well written down. And it's quite important because in this current line, the actual is 10,000 and the factual investment is 10,000 as well. What basically happens, a year goes by, and Mr. Ponzi then tells client A that, well, hey, your money's doubled. It's gone to 20,000 now. You can go and advertise it subconsciously to all your friends because this is real, this is what I do, and you will get the funds there. So client A naturally wants to double his funds, so he leaves the funds within the actual Mr. Ponzi's fund account. And again, the perceived value is 20,000, but the actual value is only 10,000. Anyway, client A encourages client B to invest some money as well. Client B invests 20,000 of her savings within Mr. Ponzi's fund. Now, the factual investments here is only the 10 and the 20,000, which makes 30,000. By year 3 is when it becomes really evident. Investments have doubled again, which is 40,000, which then attracts client C. Client C then comes along and says, well, I've got a company that I'd like to invest my company funds, or pooled investment schemes often is, within your fund. So then client C comes in and places in 100,000. The perceived value being right now is 80,000. The actual value is only 30,000. That's before the 100,000 was placed in, and the factual investments is 130,000. Year 4 happens, and sure enough, all of them double their money: 80,000, 80,000, and 200,000. And at this point, client A decides that, okay, I've had enough now. I'd like to take out my winnings just in case something happens, the market crashes again or something like that. He takes his money out, which is 80,000 gone from the pot. At this point, the attraction is still going on because client C is then advertising his or her investments, or company investments have increased, they're doubles in size. And this attracts then clients D and client E, who both equally invest £500,000 each. And at this point, also client B decides that she has actually had enough and she wants to take the money out because it's too exciting for her, or the savings have grown to the amount that she'd like for her mortgage to be paid off, for example. So then she decides that, okay, I'm going to take this 80,000 and go. And naturally, that's what happens. So in the pot, you actually have a perceived value of 1.36 million, an actual value of 1.13 million, and a factual investments of 1.13 million. However, for year 5 happens, it goes on, where the 200,000 have now increased again, and the £500,000 are now gone up to 1 million, where the perceived value is again 2.4 million. The actual value, with the 280,000s taken off, is 970,000. And the factual investments for this year is naturally going to bring on more people or more attraction for investors to invest in. And that's, in a nutshell, a Ponzi scheme. Why highlight Ponzi schemes now? Because they are on the increase, or rather, there is more of an attraction to invest in Ponzi schemes now than the pre-recession. All the above articles are from 2015, believe it or not. And with Bitcoin now becoming mainstream, investors can knowingly invest their money within these schemes, knowing that it's a Ponzi scheme, without the involvement of their banks. Because they know technically clients A, B and C knowingly gain from proceeds of crime. They'd be investing in as a result of them using Bitcoins, albeit intention is a tough one to prove. Compliance professionals have to be diligent, not only for tracing the sources of wealth or funds, but also when onboarding a hedge fund displaying unbelievable returns on their balance sheet. It may just be a yet to be discovered Ponzi scheme. Now finally, I would like to leave you with this latest Ponzi scheme, which may just still be active in other countries. The latest one is something called MMM Global. And on social media, you may have noticed advertising of new money-making program called MMM Global advertised. As the name suggests, this is a scheme through which users have to complete daily tasks to earn money. And they will be paid in small percentage of their referrals earnings as well. Due to this incentive, the MMM Global project has seen tremendous international growth, luring unsuspecting investors, hoping to make a nice profit. So far so good. Well, the Chinese government now has issued a warning on the Chinese arm of MMM Global and its founder, Sergey Mavrovi. This marketing scheme is actively looking for investments in China. The company itself is registered in Russia, and as a result, Chinese police and government officials have no jurisdiction over the website, and they can only issue stark warnings about the risks associated with MMM Global. In 2007, Sergey Mavrovi was found guilty in a Russian court for defrauding 10,000 investors out of 1.1 million rubles, or $4.3 million. In January 2011, Mavrovi launched another pyramid scheme called MMM 2011, asking investors to buy so-called Mavro currency units. He frankly described it as a pyramid, adding, "It is a naked scheme, nothing more. People interact with each other and give each other money for no reason." Mavrovi said that his goal with MMM 2011 is to destroy the current financial system, which he considers unfair, which would allow something new to take its place. Now, MMM 2011 was able to function openly as Ponzi schemes and financial pyramids, as financial pyramids are not illegal under Russian law. In May 2012, he froze the operation and announced that there would be no more payouts. In 2011, he launched a similar scheme in India called MMM India, again stating clearly that the vehicle is a pyramid. He has, also launched MMM in China. He was reported to be trying to expand his operation to Western Europe, Canada and Latin America. Keeping in mind, MMM now operates in 107 countries around the world, it comes to no surprise over 130 million people invested in this Ponzi scheme so far. Regardless of how small or large the investment amounts are, there is no legitimate way for users to earn up to 100% additional revenue in 30 days by completing one web task per day. It's unrealistic, but people do fall for it. Several investor accounts have been frozen throughout December, and all previous withdrawal requests had been cancelled without prior warning. According to the explanation given by the company, the interest rates would be calculated differently from that point forward. Several investors are still not able to log into their accounts as of 19th of January 2016. While it is clear for anyone to see MMM Global as a Ponzi scheme due to collapse at any moment, a lot of people are still looking for ways to get their funds out before the inevitable happens. Now, these Ponzi schemes are running quite rampant in China for many years now, and law enforcement can offer very little help regarding these matters, as most of these companies are not even registered in China. There is nothing that can be done when an investor loses his or her funds, especially not where Bitcoin is concerned, as digital currency operates beyond the control of banks and governments all over the world.